All right, hi. This is the Froggy and Friends podcast presented by Frogman's Finds. This is our pilot episode. We'll see how it goes. I am Bryce, the Frogman of Frogman Finds.
Yeah, and I'm Tiger Mask, or you can call me Brandon, either way.
And I am Jaden.
All right, and Jaden will potentially join us on video next time around if there's a next time. Thinking about starting our shows with just a quick update from the store. So this week we got in the Marvel Legend comics wave. We got in some of the SH figure art stuff, some of the My Hero Academia figures and the accessory parts. A bunch of Star Wars stuff is probably going to come tomorrow and Saturday. We're recording this on Thursday night, so we'll be getting yeah, two waves coming in. So that'll be good. And then again today, with the premiere of Thunderbolts, we put up our two-pack for the Marvel Legends. Yeah, so it's been a busy week. A lot of boxes to pack and stuff, but yeah, it's been good. First off, I guess there's a ton of things that we could talk about, but any of your recent pickups that you guys got in this week that you'd like to talk about?
Hmm. Well, I didn't really open them, but for the Mezco blind boxes, I got that Sod Cutter and that Hawk P40. I'm probably gonna open the Hawk P40, but I haven't yet.
Hawk is not a bad figure. I really like that one.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy, wild, like King Shark kind of design.
Yeah, it's supposed to be based off of like some sort of fighter jet thing, right?
Yeah, his head's like
But
the
he's
shape of a jet or something.
yeah, it's it, and the alternate tank head is crazy too. I enjoyed that figure. Was it the original or the like Hawk P40 something
Probably the
edition? I can't
original, I would
remember.
say. I think, and it's
Nice.
cool because he comes with a huge rocket launcher and some cool
Oh,
effects, so I get some use out of those.
yeah, so
Did you
but
have that figure? Do you still have it, Jaden?
I may have sold that one. I just this is my like dilemma with Mezcos where I really like their figures, especially their OCs, but there's a lot of their especially a lot of those OC characters just don't fit with a lot of my other stuff, and if I'm not taking pictures, I can't justify keeping it. So even though I love the figure, it's just it's not even sitting on a shelf for me. I don't have any shelves or anything like that. I it's just sitting in storage, taking up space, and I got to get rid of it at some point.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, sometimes
tough.
it's hard to have a big collection like that. I'm having to pare some stuff down and sell some stuff, maybe to help get a Switch 2 if I let America buy one or not.
Yeah, that's true.
It's
I
a $450 price tag, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
And
I mean, if it doesn't increase by the time that it releases.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, and then $80 Mario Kart, and then $60 to $70 games. And then I think
Yeah.
today, Microsoft raised their prices on all of their consoles, and then raised their prices on their games too.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Wild.
it seems like a bad move. People don't have a bunch of extra money right now for games and stuff, and yeah, all these tariffs making everything so difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta
it's
buy
tough.
things while they're still cheap. Speaking of cheap though, I got in that little mini if my camera were working right now, I'd be showing it off, but this little mini Goku Daima figure, which I'm
Yeah.
actually pretty impressed with. I was not expecting a figure this tiny to be this articulated.
Did you pick that one up, Tiger?
Yeah, I'd heard good things. No, I didn't. I hadn't seen Daima or anything. I'm more of a casual Dragon Ball fan, so I like
Yeah,
all
me
of the
too.
designs. I like all the figures I've seen from that line so far, and I've heard they're pretty good. So yeah, for being that small, it's hard to imagine like how you engineer, you know, joints that don't just disintegrate when you turn them.
Yeah. Did you have you watched Daima yet, Jaden?
No, I really don't plan to, honestly. There's too many like I I got into Dragon Ball as almost like a joke
Hmm.
where I got into it ironically. I started watching Dragon Ball uh the Dragon Ball Z Kai,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I watched it just because I thought it was really funny. I thought the idea of it was like, especially that they took it so seriously, was really funny, and I enjoyed watching it for that. And then I legitimately really liked the stuff where Boo and Satan are palling around and stuff like that. And I was like, all right, you know what? Maybe I can watch Super. That's the one that comes after this. I'll give that a try. And then unironically really love that. So I have gotten into those two, and I was like, okay, this is amazing. What else do they got? And I watched GT, and I was like, no, this is not it. Um, so Daimo reminds me too much of GT, and that was too much of a painful place for me, and I can't like convince myself to, you
Yeah,
know.
it's
Yeah.
like you know what you like in the Dragon Ball universe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when it was coming out, I wanted to give it a watch because yeah, it would have been the first time that I could watch a Dragon Ball show as it was coming out. I mean, besides childhood, where I was like watching Dragon Ball Z wherever I could find it, Toonami, Spanish channel,
Yeah,
whatever. But I realized it's one of the few animes that I cannot watch in Japanese. I got so used to the English voices, I think the nostalgia from that growing up. So couldn't watch it in Japanese. I've been waiting for it to come out in the English dub, but I don't know if it is or
yeah.
not. I'll have to check, but yeah, the Daima figures are really, really, really good. The baby Goku, super well articulated, really fun to play with, and um, you can let me know if you agree, Jaden, but the plastic feels it's like squishier, it's like softer, but not in like a cheap way. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do. It's almost the same as like a Yamaguchi figure's plastic,
Hmm.
where it's like it's not hard plastic. It's got a little bit of give to it, but it still
Not so
feels pretty
brittle.
quality. Yeah.
Yeah, so knowing that I liked the Daima Baby Goku and Baby Piccolo, I picked up the adult Daima Goku. I think it was last week, maybe. But yeah, easily like in my top 10 for the year so far, at least. It takes
Oh
everything
wow.
that's good in the baby version, and it's just like you just have more room to play with. Super super articulated, super sturdy. Doesn't feel like I'm gonna break it as I'm like pushing his legs up or whatever, or pulling his arms out. And so, really, 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 really like that figure.
Yeah, I saw your pictures, and I like the action hair, where it's like oh,
Hmm.
kind of pushed backwards from speed or action.
Yeah,
It's really good looking.
Yeah.
definitely.
Speaking of kind of like that softer plastic, so um, there's so I'm in like a bunch of different collecting Facebook groups. There's this guy that's across, or he's in at least the Mafex groups and um, the Mezco groups. Occasionally, he'll just put up super cheap figures, sometimes even like new releases. He never ships them with a box, but they're always complete, and he sells them for super cheap. So he put up the Thousand Toys Hellboy and Lobster Johnson as a two-pack for $140 shipped.
Oh
I
wow.
think
Ooh, my this man.
yeah, Hellboy I
Damn.
think is like 130 by himself. Lobster Johnson's like 100. So anyway, so I've been fiddling with my Lobster Johnson. If you're watching on video, you can see. Um, there was someone in one of our Discords. We have a toy photography TPC, toy photography chat. What's the C stand for?
Community,
It's Toy
right?
Pick community. Yeah.
Toy pick community.
Yeah.
So someone in that Discord was asking like, what can I compare Lobster Johnson to? And I can't. Um, like he has the articulation points like maybe like a Mafex, like the joints kind of look similar, but he has like a like his chest is squishy, his arms like his shoulders as they go up are like very squishy. His like neck and everything is just like it's like a premium soft plastic, and so it makes it like it has an immediate very like hand candy appeal to it.
Yeah, they look
Sort of
sick.
like uh kind of like Storm's soft plastic, or
I've never held a storm, but yeah, that was
oh,
the first thing that I thought of, because I know that they have kind of that like soft plastic with the
mhm.
articulated skeleton underneath. So this is what I'm assuming maybe they feel like, but yeah, I mean he articulates super well, and again it has that feeling of like it's not gonna break, but still feels like sturdy and a premium, and I mean he got like the um, kind of like that pulp like film noir look, which is really fun.
Yeah,
A Thousand
yeah,
Toys
that's
has
awesome.
always been like a great company. I'm always really impressed with because I'm always a articulation sucker, so
Hmm.
Yeah,
anything that articulates really well is going to be pretty high on my list there, and they're a company that does that really well.
yeah. I don't
Did
have
you
anything
ever,
by them yet, but
I know I was gonna ask Jaden, did you have like their synthetic human, or what have you had from their lines?
So yeah, I have three of the female synthetic humans just because I like the look of that one a little better. I think honestly it's pretty androgynous.
Hmm.
Although it comes with the alternate chest pieces, which I have not, I just threw those away.
Yeah.
Um uh the they're just so creepy and so well articulated. I absolutely love those figures. But I also had the Thousand Toys Master Chief. I can't remember which version or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
was, but he came with like the plasma sword, and
Hmm.
it was a really really nice figure. Unfortunately, I didn't really. It was another one of those niche figures where I just didn't have any other figures that went with them, so I ended up selling them. But yeah, really like especially for Master Chief having all that bulky armor and everything. It's one thing to have the synthetic human where, it's just like a robot with nothing else.
Hmm.
And having the articulation on that is real easy to do, but having Master Chief be all bulky and look huge while having that articulation is awesome.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people like that figure, and even like
Oh yeah.
I think people like the knockoff of it too. Even
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I have heard good things about the knockoff of it. That's another thing. We might we could probably do a whole podcast on like the rise and fall of
Yeah.
uh Chinese knockoff figures or third party figures or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
yeah, there's definitely a lot to go into on that.
Oh yeah, and they might be a thing of the past in the near future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, with the tariffs and everything, stuff like that's just gonna just not be available. Period. It's not that it's gonna be super expensive. They're just not gonna do it. Period. And
AliExpress actually canceled my order of the Mess Toys Spider-Man figures.
damn, that
Um,
sucks.
yeah, they were just like, "Oh, we couldn't contact the seller. They didn't give us a response after a certain point towards the shipping date, and we just canceled the order." So yeah, who knows?
Yeah. It
Yeah,
feels like, I mean, like you said, we could spend our whole hour talking about that. And I was thinking about that, and it could change tomorrow. Like,
Yeah,
I think someone in the Frogman Discord had posted an article about, conversations starting between the US and China. And so, even by the time that we finish recording, it could be a moot point, which is like so crazy and so frustrating.
very
Um,
frustrating.
yeah, I mean, even, like Blockies, I feel like that as like a company, like shut up out of nowhere, right? Like
yeah.
people were into Transformers, and then Blockies came out with Transformers. People were super into that. They like just showed up in Walmart randomly, and then kind of just exploded with all these different lines. And it's so easy to get them from AliExpress. Um, and so for me, as like a retailer, I guess, Of course, you want to capitalize on the things that are popular. And so I was looking for like a wholesaler, a source to get blockies from. Um, it kind of came through and I was able to order some, but then at that point it's like, well, I could order them, but I'm going through the effort of opening all these boxes and labeling them, and I'm selling them for about the same or less than what people could get them on AliExpress for. And the same, it's like, oh, I want to get Sideswipe. Like I can go on AliExpress, order it, free shipping. It might take like, 3 weeks to get here. Um, but there's kind of like that ease of like they've already done all that work and they're selling it for the same
Right.
price as me, which made it
Mhm.
difficult. Now, obviously, like that's not a thing, but then this whole tariff stuff brings up whole new issues for me as a retailer too. So I don't know, I'm kind of rambling, but it was just kind of interesting to see that as like an example, flash in a pan, and then things change so dramatically. Like it's just, yeah, it's wild.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
it's
think
always
with like,
interesting to see like your perspective on things because it's we as the buyers always just see what's going on the surface level, but you've got like a whole other world that you're a part of.
Yeah,
yeah, and it kind of stinks because even if he like reverses it tomorrow, it's still going to take time to unscrew all that stuff, like get
mhm,
everything back. And then what about just the trust there that you've already destroyed with all these other countries and stuff? Like, it's going to be messy to get it back to the point it needs to be at.
mhm. Yeah, and who knows, like if any of these AliExpress sellers are going to go through that effort, like even on like that kind of micro scale, like are they going to go through the effort to set up the shops, start sending things out for it to potentially change again, at the drop of a hat, which makes it really hard.
Yeah, and trying to figure out if it's worth the hassle even. Like, I'm sure they make plenty of money from other countries. They don't have to necessarily rely on America. Um, yeah, it's a little messy. I'm really wanting this to I don't know, sort itself out. But I did actually do a little bit of research on like what individual sites are doing exactly. Sites that are pretty common to all of us. If you want me to
Yeah,
run off like some details about that.
yeah, it's awesome.
Um, yeah, so AmiAmi, they're still shipping, but they're only doing the Japan surface mail. So no more DHL or FedEx. They're just doing I think it's called EMS
Yeah.
shipping or something like that. Same thing
DHL,
with I
my
think,
beloved.
yeah, it said it would be available to America though, because it seemed like it was mostly a Japanese thing, but apparently not. I had to
Mm.
look around. I didn't even know what EMS was. And I think Hobby Link and Genki are also in that same boat. Um, Good Smile has suspended pre-orders until 5/14. Some Gundam places like Gundam Planet are pausing pre-orders, but they're not going to raise prices on items that are in stock. So some places are trying to help mitigate it a little bit, which is kind of nice. Big Bad Toy Store, they literally just admitted that the prices are just going to go to the customer, which isn't that surprising. And Gundam, they're pretty much the same. They're going to pass extra costs to the buyer, but their pre-orders remain unchanged. So it's definitely worth checking if you've got like pre-orders on sites that like I didn't list to see what they're doing because they may just cancel your order, or
Hmm.
it might be too late to put your pre-order in somewhere else. So definitely worth checking into all that stuff.
It's gonna be interesting with like I've already paid for 5, 6, maybe even 7 figures on Hobby Genki. Just because they have that like pre-order bonus where
Hmm.
you get the extra the extra pieces with Yamaguchi figures, and that was the incentive to where you like pay ahead of time. And I am a Gucci aficionado, so
Hmm.
I have bought into that hook, line, and sinker. And I wonder if I'm going to be getting like another charge on those figures.
Yeah. So one of the other pickups I was going to talk about tonight is the Medicom Mafex Superboy. So I
Oh,
ordered him and Figure Arts Tekken King from Plaza Japan. Smaller, I think, from the import site. It's one of my favorites. But yeah, I mean, I put in my order, I think it was maybe Wednesday or Thursday last week, and I was like, don't know what's going to happen. Um,
yeah.
I was like tempted to like email them and ask like, is this gonna ship? But yeah, I mean, it's like every day it changes. Thankfully, I was able to get in with DHL, which at least I know Jaden and I are big fans of because it's like they basically teleport your stuff to you from Japan like next day.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Uh,
the greatest.
but yeah, that like when I putting in that order, I was like, this feels like my last import order. Um, and until things, hopefully shake out. But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it almost makes you want to wish that like I ordered more before all this happened, or that I knew that this was going to happen. But yeah, I don't need to be spending that much money
Mm.
anyway.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
stuff,
As
stuff.
as somebody who collects almost exclusively um imports, and a lot of them nowadays are coming from China.
Hmm.
Um, like 3-0 or Storm Collectibles, and
Snail shell,
uh,
Husky.
well, I have not collected any of those in particular, but the what's the new one? What's it called? I keep wanting to Hiya Toys. That was it.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
has been dabbling in 112 now, and I've been like just 100% on board with that.
Yeah.
yeah. I've
Um,
heard they're releasing bangers. Like, I'd really like that Makoto Ghost in the Shell
hmm
figure that's coming out from them.
oh, I haven't even seen that, but yeah,
Yeah, it
I've
looks
I've
nice.
been I've been focusing on their movie figures with the like Judge Dredd, and I got a Rambo figure, and now the Rocky figures are coming out. I really really want that Apollo Creed figure. It looks
Yeah, it
so
looks
good,
good. He
but
had some good faces. He's got like the top hat and everything,
hmm
like
oh, it's so good.
done up to the nines.
I love that I mean, unless I was wrong, um, I think he comes with like the corner of the boxing ring, right? Or is that just part of the photo?
Oh, does he? That would be
Mm.
dope.
Oh, I
Oh, I
didn't
I
would
see that.
love that.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but that's at least in one of the photos he was like sitting in the corner of the ring. So if that's part of it, I think that would definitely help justify the price. And that's like, yeah, I mean, that's the only thing with some of the highest stuff. Like, weirdly, their kaiju stuff is affordable compared to Monster Arts and some of the other makers. But then, yeah, their movie stuff has been kind of surprisingly pricey. But um, yeah, I mean, they're really good quality. Apollo Creed looks great. We don't have any way to get those kind of like Rocky figures anyways. So yeah, they look really
Yeah,
good.
They must be paying for the license, and that's why it's expensive. Like, I mean, of course they would have to pay for the license, but like paying a good deal for it or something. Like, I don't know.
I wonder
Yeah.
how much they had to negotiate. You'd think that Rocky wouldn't be a hot commodity right now, but
I guess the Creed movies kind of have
Mhm.
oh, that's true. Yeah.
brought it back a little,
Yeah,
even
and
though
I
it's more
guess
like a
Although,
separate story.
I mean nobody else is really making those figures, like even Rocky. Um, I know other companies have made Judge Dredd, but I don't feel like any have come out recently besides the highest stuff.
yeah, Haya did it for 118th, and everybody was like, those were amazing. And then I kept hearing great things about those, and then they announced they were doing it with 112, and I was like, yeah, I'll take one of those.
hmm Yeah. Yeah, I think before we kind of jumped into the tariff talk, like I realized that, yeah, I guess I don't talk too much about like my thought process on what I decide to order and what feels worth it or not. Um, but yeah, I find myself so I mean I think both of you know, but any listener, I have like a normal full-time job during the day. Um, and so any downtime that I have during my normal job, um, I feel like I'm always doing research like, how much does this cost here? How much does if it's an import figure, like how much does it cost over there? How much does it cost to bring it over here? Like what's the time difference? Like is it worth this much of a price difference to get it early? Are people going to be into that? Um, yeah, I find myself like, I mean, I'm terrible at math, but I find myself always kind of running those like hypothetical like calculations of like, okay, well, if I can put this much money into it, like, is this going to be something that's going to feel worthwhile to, one of our customers? So yeah, I realize it's something I'm doing all the time, but I don't talk about it too much.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I just kind of assumed that you got what was like cool or interesting to you somewhat.
Yeah. I mean, even and maybe this can kind of be like our transition, pseudo transition at least, like soft transition away from toys and into stuff that we've been watching and playing. But yeah, like with the Thunderbolt stuff that went up today, it's Marvel Legends. It's two packs. One is John Walker and the Sentry, which Sentry is I think going to be the villain of the film, but hasn't been featured too much in the marketing. So this figure was kind of the first real good look at the character. The other two pack is Yelena and the Red Guardian. And so MCU stuff generally doesn't sell super well. Even for like popular stuff like Spider-Man, I think most collectors aren't super interested in like photorealistic, and I mean I'm the same way. I don't want like Harrison Ford like on my shelf looking at me. I'd rather have like a comic version of someone. Um,
Right.
and so yeah, I only ordered four of each two pack, and I thought that maybe I would get like one or two orders of each. But they both sold out like within like 10 minutes of putting it up. Um, and so then I
Yeah, I think people
ordered.
heard that Thunderbolts is good.
Yeah. So I ordered one more case of each, and then I saw orders coming in through the day as people were watching the movie and then ordering it after they watched it.
Yeah, yeah. Word of mouth.
Hmm.
that's interesting. I wonder also if the MCU stuff is because a lot of people like to have their sort of definitive character
Hmm.
or versions of that character, and MCU just doesn't lend itself very well to that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know,
it's a
just
combination of
speculation.
people maybe not wanting the photorealistic, like you said, and also since they are supposed to be an actor's face, if they're off at all or a little, they
Hmm.
can look really wonky or weird. So it's easier to get like a weird looking, Andrew Garfield face or something like that because something just slightly off.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I've bought a few figures for that reason. There's a Captain America that I bought that didn't look anything like the actor. Instead, it looks like Jay Bauman from Red Letter Media. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I'll buy Jay Bowman.
Yeah. No,
That's
that's
funny.
so true. Yeah, like Superboy, like another one of our friends like posted a picture of like a comic cover of Young Justice, and it's like, yeah, that looks like him. But yeah, if this was like, I don't know, Timothy Chalamet, like one little thing, like even if it's like the paint, the coloring, like it totally throws it off. So that's
Yeah,
that's so true.
Yeah, that's a good looking figure too. I like that jacket a lot.
Dude, he's so fun. He's really fun. And yeah, like, and what you were saying, Jaden, like, people are like, "Oh, I want to get the two pack because this is the definitive look for U.S. Agent compared to, when he was in
right.
this or when he was in that."
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, before we move on, I cannot recommend this figure enough. Another one that like easily entered my top 10 for the year so far. Um,
Hmm.
for those who are just listening, it's the Mafex Superboy. Like he has the faux leather jacket, which is super nice. The bottom part of the jacket is wired, and then like the I don't know what you call it, like the belt wrap for the jacket on the bottom part is also wired. Easy to take on and off, like I think it was with the Spider-Man 2099. So just the last month's release for Mafex. They changed the crotch, like the diaper piece, to be like a really soft plastic, kind of similar to the stuff you're talking about before. But it
Oh,
makes the waist articulation and the leg range like crazy. I don't know
Mm.
if I can do it with the
That way
jacket
it's not.
on, but like. Yeah, he can kiss his
Oh
foot.
wow, yeah.
Yeah, that's way up there.
That's
Yeah.
one thing that always bugs me about Mayfex figures was the lack of articulations, but that's actually might change my mind on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know people have a lot of complaints about Mafex or whatever, but I like almost all of the ones that I've got. I've got almost that, and I've got the entire Hush line that's out right now, and I would say only one or two of those figures are a little subpar. Like that Riddler, he's a little odd looking, and he doesn't come with much. And but everything else, like I like that line, especially the Hush ones. They look really good.
I've started to see the Riddler and the Scarecrow a little bit more easy to get. And so I was actually going to ask you, Tiger, what your thoughts were on those two, because I think I had pre-ordered both of them and then I canceled them as I was trying to just like thin out my pre-orders. But I mean, Riddler looks great. Yeah, it doesn't look like he articulates well. Scarecrow looks even better, but yeah, both of them don't really come with much. So I wanted to hear your thoughts on it.
Yeah, if anything, I would say Scarecrow would be more worth it because you could always make some weird, spooky stuff for him or get it from some other character and it would fit really well. Um, but yeah, the other one, Riddler, he looks kind of game show hosty. Like Rex was saying, like he doesn't look dirty enough or grimy, creepy enough or something. Like kind of looks a little anime-ish almost. But it does seem like a decent figure. It could have come with more for sure. But yeah, I really like the look of the Scarecrow. He's got like a really gnarly nose, and he just looks like just a guy that you wouldn't want to be around.
For sure. Yeah, I mean, he looks great. Um, but that does also another thing that came up in my mind that I wanted to ask you guys about. Because I know Jaden had mentioned like with Hawk P40, um, Master Chief, like you pick up figures that are cool, but then you realize they don't really like fit in with your collection or fit in with like the kind of pictures that you want to take. Like, what have you guys found are like kind of shoe-ins like, oh, I know this is going to be something that I'm going to use, I'm going to like, it's going to be great for pictures. And yeah, what are some maybe even some pickups that you're like, this is cool, but then you realize like, oh, it doesn't fit in anywhere.
I'll let you take the first one on that because I have to think about that one.
Well, like maybe the snail shell zombie Grisa that came out. I like her. She's cool. She comes with some cool effects. She can pop her arm off really easy and like pop a little bone on there and do dismembered arm type stuff really easily. But she's kind of hard to pose. I feel like she's got a large headpiece, hairpiece that kind of weighs her down. But she's cool, but not as fun to pose as I thought she would be, I guess.
For sure. What are like your easy ones, your go-tos that are always gonna like home runs, I guess?
A lot of the Mexico stuff, I really love it. I love that it feels so, solid in your hands. The clothes are so solid. Yeah, I love those Gomez's so much. That biker Gomez is sick. He's also got a super awesome leather jacket and all kinds of cool stuff that comes with him. Like that kind of stuff is easy shoe in for me. Definitely some of those Gucci figures. I really like the designs of those. Superposable. They look good. They've got that Gucci style and look to them that's a little bit different. I know that some people aren't a big fan of, but I love it. I know you guys like it too. It's just like it just looks crazy. I love the way that a good Gucci picture looks.
Oh yeah, I for me the shoe in every single time is going to be an army builder. So
Mm,
just literally, we were talking earlier about the synthetic humans. I got a bunch of those Chitari warrior thing. I can't remember what they're called. The two
mhm.
packs.
Yeah,
Uh, I got a bunch of those from you, and like I absolutely love those things. I haven't taken any pictures with them yet, but I've just like they can go with literally anything. Um, the thing that I've always thought would be a shoe in, and probably have ended up on sale for me the most. I ended up getting rid of them. Are Batman villains.
Mm,
I have gotten a lot of Batman's rogue galleries, and I've sold just almost every single one of them. Um, I I keep around like Harley. Harley's a good one just because she's kind of like Deadpool, where she fits in with pretty much whatever you want, you know.
hmm
Um, uh, but and like now I have an Ivy, which I really like. I can pair her with Harley, but that's about all I got for her, you know.
hmm
Other than Batman, like I feel like the Batman picture is very played out. I feel like uh having Batman just fighting a villain feels kind of too easy to me, I guess.
hmm
And I want to do something a little bit more creative than that, and I end up just not putting him with anything. Or
Yeah.
yeah,
Which Ivy did you get?
the Mafex.
She looks really good.
Yeah,
It's
she's good.
she's surprisingly well articulated. I was not expecting her to be as well articulated as she is. The only downside to her is she has that giant hair. Um, like luckily she also doesn't come with high heels, which is like the worst thing
hmm
to on so many figure companies do that where they have the long sculpted hair and then high heels and you can't stand
hmm
them up at all, and I I cannot stand it, but she has flat feet, so it does not matter.
Yeah, and I feel like her hair more restricts articulation. It's not super top heavy. It doesn't add a ton of weight to the top. It's just makes it harder for her to like, turn her head.
Right, right. Yeah.
But yeah, I like that figure.
Definitely I do still need to take I need to take a lot of pictures, but I do need to take a picture of her and Harley. Um,
Yeah.
just going around committing crimes.
hmm Yeah, that's one that I want to still pick up at some point if I can catch her on a good enough sale. Because yeah, I usually don't like female figures that have that long hair just because it's like they're just gonna look forward basically. But
Yeah.
she's got yeah, she has like a good she has a sauce. Um, which I realized, again, kind of going through like my recent pickups and stuff. Figures that I end up keeping are ones that I feel like have the sauce. Like they have to have like a personality or like a presence. Um, which like again, I feel like Lobster Johnson is pretty simple, but he has that like yeah, film noir vibe that instantly gives him like so much personality. Um,
Very
I think
photogenic.
yeah, I think Jaden knows this about me, but I used to be like a people photographer like a lifetime ago.
People
I,
photographer.
compared to not living things like I do now. But yeah, I was like a wedding photographer and I did like portraits and stuff. Um, so yeah, I
Nice.
don't know, like I don't know if that makes a difference, but I just realized like figures that have like a lot of personality, like they're just so much more fun to take pictures of than, something that's cool but might not have that like that presence.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah. And then also I legitimately don't know why, but I love GI Joes. I never take pictures of them. I like barely pose them up, but I can't get rid of any of them. Like
They're
I like looking at them, I guess. I don't know.
well, and they're so like universal, you know. They are one of those things that just like can go anywhere. They're just like random army people. They're essentially those little green army men that
hmm
from Toy Story or your childhood or whatever.
For
You know what
sure.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
They could just be a random soldier or,
Yeah,
whatever, mercenary.
and they came from their own source material. They were OG. They were OC to Hasbro in the beginning. and then they made the show, around them and gave them all backstories and everything. So they were designed to just be cool looking figures first and foremost.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to go about things what we think of as like backwards, like making the toys first and then building something around it. Like sounds crazy.
Yeah.
That was like that was the 80s, man.
That was 80 style for sure. Ninja Turtles, any of that kind of thing. It was just like a million variants and all kinds of stuff.
Hmm.
Make the show to sell the toys.
Hmm.
hmm
But
I actually
yeah.
have a big tub up in my attic of old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like I'm sure somebody in the server would go nuts if they saw it, but I don't really know if any of them are worth anything. I just know they're like retro style, like from when I was growing up.
Oh
Hmm.
wow.
Yeah, I'm sure you could get at least some, something from it. But yeah, I guess that's true. When I look at my GI Joe display, there is that like, and again, I think because I look at my figures as like in like a utility kind of sense, like what could I use these for? I'm sure you guys kind of feel that too. Like I'll keep it if I feel like I could use it for something. And yeah, it's so true. I could look at the GI Joes. I see like General Hawk. It's like, well, yeah, he could just be like an army commander, like calling in something. Like, yeah, they're so versatile. And then, as you were saying, Jaden, because they're Hasbro property, like they can put so much more money into it because they're not paying for the license. And so sometimes even with GI
Yep.
Joes, like you could just get the figure just for the accessories because they come with so much cool stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for the price
I've
point, it seems like they're great.
oh yeah. I've definitely done that before, where I've just bought especially the sort of figures that you can even just turn into army builders, where it's just you those well, the actual army builders that they started making now, which are incredible and have all sorts of accessories that
Hmm.
I even just bought. Think. Wait, did I buy one of the? I can't remember. I know I bought three of the first guy that was
The
just like the
army.
regular army
Hmm.
guy,
Yeah.
like Delta Force type um looking guy, and he came with so many extra accessories that they've been used all over, even though I've only taken like one picture of the actual Delta Force guys themselves as army builders.
Hmm. I think it's
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and the articulated animals are nuts. Like
Hmm.
the
Oh yeah.
for that price point, like you're getting an articulated animal in some of those figures is wild. I've
Hmm.
wanted to buy some of them just for the like the dog or something, you know?
Hmm. Yeah, it's so worth it. One of them, CoverGirl, there's something about like she has kind of like mechanic tools. She has like a data pad. She has a really nice shotgun and a really nice pistol. I just keep her on my desk because I'm always using her accessories. Like I don't take pictures of her very much. Like her legs are super wobbly now, but yeah, like just yesterday or 2 days ago, I was taking pictures with the new Mirage April O'Neil, using some of those accessories from CoverGirl because they just work well in pictures.
Oh yeah, 100%. And speaking of CoverGirl and GI Joes, that's another thing that just they're so like you can mess with them too and just like make something entirely new, or kit badges are endless. Plus I really really like painting on extra details to them,
Hmm.
just to give them that like extra level, and it's so fun to do. And there's so many like sculpted on parts that they've put on there, and it just needs like a little bit of extra paint to make them look like they're metal, and really bring out all those details, because they do get so much love. And it's really insane that
Hmm.
they have as much as they have.
So true. Yeah. It reminded me of the Dreadnought line for the GI Joes. I think canonically, I don't remember watching much of the show. I haven't read the comics for sure, but I guess canonically a lot of them are queer. Um, but
Huh.
yeah, there's like so many details, like earrings, like little rings, bracelets, just like an open vest or whatever. And it's like they put so much personality, again, so much personality into those. that they're so much fun to shoot, especially like if you have these quirky, again, like supposedly queer characters, you can kind of, like play that up, set up certain scenes with them that yeah, it's like they're badass, they're quirky, they're weird. And again, because they have so much detail on them, it's just, yeah, it's so much fun to take pictures of.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Um,
So great.
yeah, before we wrap up, we can change the gears. What have you guys been watching or playing and listening to? Maybe outside of the realm of toys.
Want to go first, Jaden?
Oh, sure. I I have been very boring. I've been playing GTA 5 in anticipation of GTA 6, and I like me and a bunch of buddies have just like really gotten into it. And yeah, we've just like been on a GTA 5 kick and a little bit of Minecraft there too. So like games that have been out for, 15, 20 years.
What's I mean I'm assuming you're playing like I don't even remember what they call the multiplayer for GTA 5, but like I know that's like constantly changing. They're adding a bunch of stuff. So like what does that look like right now?
Honestly, it's almost exactly the same. There's just like a lot of you know, s- not quite seasonal, but like there's changing, rotating things that are, out and about, and like there's a lot of new businesses that you can like invest in and stuff like that. And of course they're adding new cars and stuff, and it's they still managed to keep it pretty fresh. Although I feel like there's been like in-game inflation going on because
What?
it's you can go someplace and get a haircut for like $30, but like you can also get a tattoo for $30,000. Like it's so like there's it. I just don't. I can't explain it. You know.
Is that like are the prices set by like Rockstar? Are they set by the players?
They must be set by Rockstar, I assume. Like it's just I seem to remember being able to customize my character pretty easily, and like uh, or at least back when it first came out, you'd buy clothes for a couple $100s a piece, you'd get a couple tattoos for a couple $100s a piece, that kind of a thing. But now the like clothes are in the thousands, and the tattoos are in the multi thousands, like tens of thousands.
Yeah, they
You're
want
like,
you to
oh
buy those
okay,
shark cards. They want
oh
you
yeah,
to
definitely.
spend
The
some money on
cars
that
are
game.
in the millions now, so
Gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to run like a lot of heists over and over to just make enough for
yep.
a car.
Oh yeah, we've been hitting the heists big time, and I keep telling
But
them that they'd all love Payday 2, which is,
Mm,
my bread and butter. But
yeah, it's fun to just go cause a bunch of havoc and run people over and drive-bys with your friends and stuff, like just being
yeah.
unruly.
yep. Man, can't escape inflation in the real life or in GTA.
Nope, never.
Sucks. What about you, Tiger?
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of stuff. Watch a lot of movies constantly. You guys know I'm like watching a movie like every night almost. But I've been playing Clair Obscur,
Hmm.
the French JRPG styled game. It's got like mechanics like Paper Mario, where you have like the action presses whenever you're about to hit them, you hit your button at the same time, you do more damage. But it's still like the classic turn-based. It's like a mix of like Final Fantasy style vibes with Paper Mario style gameplay, but it's very French. It's very sad and tragic, and they've got funny costumes where they dress in like very French clothes, and they have a baguette strapped to their backs. It's like an unlockable costume. Like, there's no joke you can make about us that we don't already make about ourselves, you know?
That's amazing.
But yeah, it's been really great. Out of nowhere, from this is like the studio's first game, made by like 30 people over a span of some years, and yeah, it just kind of came out of nowhere, surprised a bunch of people, and it's on Game Pass right now too, so you can play it pretty cheaply if you don't want to like buy the whole thing. But yeah, it's been fun. Bounces around from being like kind of wild Final Fantasy-ish antics to like really depressing French film or something. Um, So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's awesome. Have you heard of this game, Jaden?
No, no, this is the first time hearing of it. That sounds interesting.
A lot of
It,
people hadn't heard of it until like the release day, and
hmm
then word of mouth spread, and everyone was like, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, I'll check this out and try it." And it has a really striking look. Like if you see how the combat looks, it's like very zoomed in and focused, and just kind of looks anime-ish. Like,
hmm
and French have a long history of replicating and doing anime style and stuff like that. So it makes sense that they, kind of tap into that Japanese sensibility of creation. And yeah, it's just really unique. I've never really played anything quite like it, and just out of nowhere, really neat.
Yeah,
One fight night tomorrow too.
Oh yeah, yeah, we'll do fight night.
it's fun. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah, I've been enjoying it.
that game took the gaming world by storm, surprised so many people. But yeah, I feel like every screenshot I see is like gorgeous.
Huh.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to check this out.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
not
you
like
would
the
like
most
it.
high fidelity game. It's got a little strange lighting sometimes, but their art style works really well. It makes a really fantastical world to explore, and it's always interesting. Gives you plenty of room to experiment with like your characters and how you want to set them up and your party and stuff. So it's definitely a blast. And like I said, you can play it on Game Pass, really easily. So definitely worth checking out.
Nice. I want to hear about Speed Racer too. I know that you watched that tonight.
Yeah, it was amazing, honestly. I'm really sad that I slept on it until now. It had a great cast. I mean, I didn't know John Goodman and Susan Sarandon are in it.
Hmm
Um, yeah, Christina Ricci, super cute. The entire movie, just dum 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 dum. But
Yeah,
like, as wild and frenetic as the action was, the Wachowski sisters like made it all really easy to see. Like cars are spinning around and flying and flipping off the track and stuff, but all of the action is really well focused. It's not just like you're just seeing a CGI blur, and a ton of the movie was CGI, and it actually holds up. I feel like a lot of the movies from that era that had like the earlier CGI have not aged very well, and honestly, if you'd have told me this movie was made a couple years ago, I could have believed that.
dang. Have you have you seen it, Jaden? I feel like this would be like your jam.
No, no, no.
It's very like
I've never.
tongue in cheek. It's like it knows that the whole concept of Speed Racer is goofy, and Americanizing it is kind of making it even more goofy. And it just totally plays right into it. You can definitely tell that the Wachowskis are anime fans. They have the style, the Akira bike slide. They do that a few times throughout there. Like they definitely know what's up.
And yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised, Jaden. I feel like that'd be your kind of thing.
No, yeah, I've never like I know Speed Racer is a thing, and I've like heard generally of it, but I've never like looked into it. I didn't like I've never watched the original show or anything like that.
I've just seen a couple episodes of it, just enough to kind of know the characters.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't honestly, I don't know how like faithful that like Wachowski movie is to the source material, but I've heard it's like a total cult classic, and people that love it are like it's one of the masterpieces of cinema, like one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, it
Wow,
kind of sucks that it didn't really get as big as it should have. Because like if I saw that in the theater, I would have been hyped. Like there's just races, explosions, fights, and drama, and yeah, it's all very colorful and fast moving, but not so much that you can't really like tell what's going on. And yeah, as far as I know, it had all the original characters and followed the story pretty loosely. I mean, like I said, as far as I know, which isn't all that much.
Death
Nice.
Race 2000 is more my speed.
Oh man, I've seen that.
Like I make the most obscure reference I possibly could, and he's like, "Oh yeah,
I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
got like David Carradine in it.
yep, that's
Yeah,
Frankenstein."
it's weird. It's like wacky racers with like a lot more violence.
It's
Uh,
like it's got this weird tone of just like almost like a cartoon, but also everyone is dying and it's horribly gruesome.
yeah, it's very much in that 70s, like, all this is death is going on, but we're just no selling it. We're just acting like, oh yeah, this is all normal and fine. And yeah, this is just a sport that we all love. You know, everyone loves Death Race. But yeah, it's a wild movie, and they came out with some sequels that are pretty terrible.
Oh
Seen a
yeah,
couple of those.
yeah. You're talking about the Jason Statham one?
Yeah, he was in one, wasn't he? Yeah, he was in that like first
He was
sequel,
in
I think.
the 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 modern remake of it,
Yeah,
which
Yes.
didn't have any of the nuance or
or
anything.
the
It
fun
was
camp.
literally just like let's put Jason Statham in like a Fast and Furious type movie where he is in a prison and everybody's just trying to kill each other.
Yeah, it goes from like fun and campy and low budget to like this is just kind of crappy, you know, like just a very forgettable kind of thing. But yeah, that's very indicative of that time just to reboot something that no one's cared about in like 30 years. Like, yeah, fuck it,
Yeah.
just throw Jason Statham in there. He's a
Yeah,
good car guy or something.
I'm like showing my whole ass. I didn't know that yeah, the Jason Statham one was based on an old movie. I thought that was like the
Oh yeah.
only one.
No. It was actually based like it's a decent movie if you like watch it more as like a metaphor than like at surface level, you know? It's got some like Hunger Games-esque commentary about the state of the world. However, it is wrapped in the most goofy exterior shell. So,
Yeah, and like
like the vibes of the Holy Mountain were just like, you know, that whole sort of like corporate scene from the Holy Mountain where everybody's just they're like hamming it up while everybody just dies in the background.
It's fun. Classic cinema. But yeah,
Yep.
I feel like I've been very vanilla. I've been writing like the hype train of stuff that's coming out. I was playing Assassin's Creed Shadows, which was cool, but then about like I think it was about 10 hours in, I was like, this is just Assassin's Creed again. Kind of like lost
yeah, you got
steam.
90 more hours of that.
Yeah. So, that was a couple of nights ago. In a moment of weakness, I gave in and I bought Oblivion. Um, and like, yeah, totally hitting all of those like nostalgia strings, all those memories from, late high school. So that's been fun.
Yeah, here
Nice.
it's pretty well done.
I've been on the fence about whether to get that or not, and Rex got it, and it's crashed every single time he's tried to boot
Oh,
it, and I'm like, that sounds like Oblivion. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
Yeah. I
It's a
mean,
Bethesda release.
I'm playing on PlayStation 5. So it's a little bit more stable, but yeah, like my one of my really, really good friends, we talk about games all the time, and he's like, yeah, I got Oblivion on Steam. I played it for an hour and I hated it and I returned it. And so I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. 'Cause he's like, yeah, you totally feel like it's, 20 years old. As soon as I booted it up, I was like, yeah, this is it. Like, I'm a feast on this game. Like, it's just, yeah, it's so fun. I think I like that it's simple, It's not like you don't open up the map like a Ubisoft game and you see all the things like light up and all the places that you can go. It's just like I got my sword. I'm jumping everywhere I can go because it makes my jump better. And
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I'm just
photo
gonna kind
system
of
or
see
whatever.
what the day has for me.
Yeah,
So,
that's probably the best way to play those games anyway, is just kind of go off vibes and like what you want your character to be like. Or I like the Elder Scrolls games, but I'm not as like attached to them as a lot of people are. I know people go crazy over Morrowind, Oblivion, and
mhm.
Skyrim especially. And I like all those games, but I definitely tend to lean more towards the Japanese style of RPG. Though
Hmm.
I do like American and other countries, like Clair Obscur being French. But yeah, I didn't get that one. But not because like I don't really like Oblivion or anything, just because I don't know, money and trying to limit exactly like how much I'm buying because I've got a ton of stuff in my backlog. Like I could honestly not buy another game for like
Hmm.
5 to 10 years and probably still have enough stuff to play.
Oh, 100%. I feel that so much.
Yep.
I my library, I'm doing one of those like Steam library share things now with some of my buddies, and we have 1,200 games
My God,
between four of us. So
a lot.
literally there's nothing I can possibly do to finish all of those games.
No.
So many games, so many games. But yeah, and then the only other thing, and I'm even behind on it, I've been watching Andor, which, um, as I've told Jaden so many times, like it's so much your jam. But I know you're off the Star Wars boat for life. But yeah, there was so it's in season 2 right now. And without I'll keep it general to not spoil, but there's this whole sequence that really stood out to me. It was three there's like three different kind of like scenes or like kind of characters that are doing things in three different completely different areas. So one is this like really lavish gathering, and there's a party going on, and they just found out like really devastating news to kind of like the things that they're doing underneath the current of it all. And so they're having this lavish party while realizing like all of their plans for like rebellion are like falling apart. They need to keep like keep the facade of like this lavish lifestyle to be able to be in those circles that they can have influence. And then, two completely other social settings where again, like they're fighting for like the things that they're doing to rebel, to resist. And it's just like they kept cutting between these three scenes and seeing how like a rebellion can fall apart, can strengthen, um, can, like it's happening in all these different social settings, and I thought that was so fascinating.
Yeah, it's been good. I think the next 3 episodes just came out today or something, or
Hmm.
yesterday. I'm not sure, but the first 3 episodes they started pretty strong.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the closest thing that you're gonna get to like a socialist story in Star Wars, probably ever. So it's cool to see like revolutionaries that actually feel like revolutionaries instead of
Hmm.
like, just okay, well, let's get rid of the Empire for a little bit and we'll just kind of rinse and repeat. Where these feel like people that are going through some shit. They're
Hmm.
having personal problems. They're having inner political problems between themselves. They don't agree on how to do things, and it really adds a layer. I feel like a lot of the shows that like try to cover revolutionaries end up like really dropping the ball. Like what was the show that the U.S. agent first showed up on? Uh,
Oh,
it was one of those Marvel shows.
Oh, Captain America and Winter Soldier.
or Falcon and
Yeah,
the
it was like
Winter Falcon and
yeah, yeah.
Falcon and
something
Winter
like that.
Soldier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, on that one, there's revolutionaries on that one, and they totally have good, completely good motives and everything. And then, like at the last second, they just swerve, and they're like, "Oh no, the revolutionaries were violent and crazy. They needed to go," or something like that. I remember just being like,
It's
I don't know. This is like
propaganda. Yeah.
a weird way to like show that these people that just wanted like equality or rights or whatever. Yeah, I don't remember exactly how it went, but yeah, it was just weird. So it's nice to see like realistic people acting like having real feelings where you might brush up against somebody else's politics even though you're pretty close to them, in your beliefs. And that's cool to see. It's way more layered than a lot of other revolutionaries or whatever.
Yeah. I think what I like about Andor is that it has kind of like the long game perspective on like revolution. Um, and I don't know, maybe it's not the best thing kind of example or callback, but when I think about Revolution, I always go back to Les Mis. Wonderful
Oh yeah.
musical. But you know, through Les Mis, there's like these things that are happening that's like building, 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 building until that breaking point when like the revolution really kicks off. Um, and what I like about Andor is that it feels like it's started after that kickoff point, and then you're still seeing the years of things that happen after people start deciding to rebel. It's like I think like you were saying, Tiger, it's like so often in media, it's like it's a revolution, it's a rebellion, and then blah blah blah, and we win. But it doesn't really capture like the nuance of like this can be years, this can be decades of people sacrificing their lives for this, and like how that wears on people, and like I think it's just so interesting.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I really like how they show the Imperials in it too, because they don't really try to make you like them all that much, but they do have very human moments where
Hmm.
you can tell that they, are human, but you don't necessarily they're not trying to make you be like, "Oh, well, some of the people in the Empire are actually good," Like, "Well, no, most of them signed up for this. Like,
Hmm.
most of them suck."
Hmm.
So that's another layered way of looking at things instead of just like, "Oh, yeah, well, there's a bad guy, but they're actually kind of good, so you should feel bad for them." Like, no, they don't really make you feel all that bad for like the Imperials that they focus on in the show.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, they're very nuanced. It's good. So maybe someday if you change your mind, Jaden.
If you're gonna watch
If
anything
I
Star Wars,
do,
it's probably worth it.
yeah, if I do ever change my mind, it will be for that.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we can do it again if people like it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah, I
thanks
enjoyed
again.
it.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you guys. Good night.